Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, the original gamer, StevieStrow, and I'm here with you with another really cool and fun game on the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, also known as the COCO. I ran into this one, and I thought it was worth sharing. This is a clone of E.T. Now, E.T. was a very popular movie in the 80s by Steven Spielberg. If you don't remember, you had E.T. Phone Home, E.T. Phone Home. Elliot. Yeah, lots of cool quotes from that movie. Now, E.T. was probably the single-handedly most biggest mistake that Atari made by trying to make a game based on this movie, and there's actually a documentary on this you can watch on Netflix where it was so bad. I think that's one of the things that put the company out of business, and they ended up burying them all in a landfill because it was just a really bad game. They made a bad game, they rushed it to market, it really wasn't that good. It had the name of the movie behind it, it had a blockbuster movie, and it had a big name company like Atari making it. However, it was an epic fail of a game. Now, this game somebody made is an E.T. inspired game, but the reason why I thought I wanted to show it to you, not because it's overwhelmingly graphical or visual or amazing, but it's actually written in BASIC. I pulled this up off of a floppy disk. It's a BASIC game, and this is where I got my start in computers. I also learned how to program in BASIC. So this is literally a homemade game that somebody wrote themselves using the BASIC language that was built into the computer. And I did games like this too. Not this particular game, but I wrote games in BASIC. And Radio Shack was really good about giving us a really good book and a manual that taught you how to use the computer. And even though you technically were learning how to program a computer, which nobody knew how to do before, the BASIC language was easy to understand and had a lot of powerful commands that allowed us to draw circles on the screen, paint those circles in, draw lines, and fill things in. So there were a lot of commands that made creating graphics on the screen very user-friendly. So you could do some halfway cool visual things with the built-in BASIC language. So I thought I would show you this just to give you an idea of some of the things I did as a kid and some of the things people did with this computer when they made their own games. Most of the games I've been showing you, the cartridges and the other games, those are written in what's known as an assembly language. It's written in a machine language. I never learned assembly. Understanding assembly is basically learning how to think and talk like a microprocessor, and I'm pretty technical, but I'm not that technical. So BASIC is closer to English than it is to binary. So most people use BASIC as one of their first languages because it's easier to use and understand. Unfortunately, it doesn't run anywhere near as fast. To get the speed, you have to run at the machine level. So games written in BASIC ran hundreds of times slower than those written in assembly, but it was a way for us to create and experiment and do things. So I thought it was worth showing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this E.T. clone. It's called COCO-Terrestrial instead of Extra-Terrestrial. You are a little boy in search of your terrestrial friend. You are represented by a small green dot. You move by pressing the arrow keys. I can't read it now. Something, 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 blah, blah, blah. I cannot read any of that. I don't know why those pink lines are there. Hit spacebar, please. Okay. Here's E.T. Now, we actually use commands to draw that stuff in and paint it in. So the commands, there were line commands and paint commands. So, and now he's even animating the tears coming out of E.T.'s face there. Please find me. Press enter to start. As lame as this looks, this is still somewhat impressive. Okay, so now he's actually drawn the trees, painted them in, and here I am. I am the little dot here. I'm in the dark forest. This is actually the size of 1 pixel. That's how low this resolution is. So it's a very jagged, low resolution. But he created a map. And you can actually see toll bridge, pay at. Now, I think you have to avoid hitting things. I don't think you can bump into these trees. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that when we enter the screen, you actually saw everything being drawn and painted on the screen, and you saw it happen before your eyes. That was one way to do it, where you could kind of see it and you had to wait for it to happen. What we got into to be a little bit more creative is that whenever we were drawing things and filling things in, we did it on a page behind the scenes, so you could not see the magic happening. You couldn't see the pieces being put together, so the whole scene was kind of rendered, and then we copied that page over to the front page that you could see, so you didn't have to see the lines being drawn and the objects being painted in. So we got a little bit fancier, where when you left the screen, you would still see your old screen. We would paint it in, we would draw it, and then we'd flip it over, and then you would just kind of pop into the new screen. But there was obviously a delay in doing that. This person just chose to just do it all real time, so you can kind of see it happening before your eyes. Now, I don't know if I need to walk into this house. Find gold first. Okay. Did I just die? I don't know. I might have just died. So yeah, this is interesting. It's interesting to me. It might not be interesting to anybody else, but this is literally a homemade game that somebody wrote in the basic language, and to me it's nostalgic, and it's interesting, and it is impressive on some levels, because they made this game. They made all these different areas. They made these different maps. Elm Valley. So this person had to really put some thought into kind of planning out the world ahead of time, and then writing all the logic and knowing where to go depending on where you entered and how to draw the scenes. They had to do a lot of pretty cool stuff. And I keep dying. So I think I've done enough. So for whatever it's worth, this is a bonus entry into the showcase. This one's called COCO-Terrestrial. I don't think this game was ever available for sale, though. I'm not sure. There were some games you could buy from companies that they wrote in BASIC. I remember buying one or two of them that were written in BASIC that were kind of okay. So it's possible this might have been one that was available for sale. It's possible that maybe somebody just made it and released it. There was another thing too, where people, and I was one of those people, where we would make games, we would make programs, and then we would trade them with other people, and that was what was known as public domain, where you just kind of traded software, and you gave away your software, and you put your name on it on a screen somewhere. You kind of listed who the author was, and it kind of would circulate around, possibly around the world, before there was an internet. We did have modems and bulletin board systems we could trade files with too, but there was a time when people wrote software and freely distributed and traded and gave away their software just because they wanted other people to have it. And so this is possibly one of the ways this game was distributed at one point in time. But this was called COCO-Terrestrial, a version of a game based on the movie E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, and it's kind of interesting. I hope you thought it was interesting. So we're going to do some more of these. So the next one you see will be a hopefully more action-packed game. But in the meantime, I hope you did enjoy this video. I am the original gamer, StevieStrow. If you did enjoy this video, then mash that like button by giving it a thumbs up. If you have not already subscribed, then hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. If you got something you want to say, throw out a comment. And the best thing you can do, the best compliment you can pay me, is to share my channel and my videos with your friends. So click on the share button and share this video and let other people know. I feel like I'm a dude in the 60s right now, right? Ooh, yeah, so share the video with your friends and help me grow and have new people learn about these cool and interesting games. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.